All right, so you're getting ready for a Microelectronics Designer interview.
That's great. We've got a ton of resources from RoleCatcher to help you prepare.
Yeah, we're going to deep dive into some interview questions, give you some insider tips, and even show you how RoleCatcher's AI can help you.
Sounds good. Let's start with a question you'll likely hear early on. What led you to pursue a career in microelectronics design?
The classic origin story. Seems simple enough, but it's your chance to really showcase your passion.
Exactly. Don't just give them some canned response. Really think about what first sparked your interest.
Was there a particular project or maybe a mentor who inspired you? Or just a fascination with how circuits work?
Right, whatever it was, let that enthusiasm shine through.
And RoleCatcher's AI has a pro tip for you here. Tailor your answer to the specific company and role you're interviewing for.
Good point. So if you're interviewing at a company that's all about low-power design, you want to mention any related experience you have.
Shows you've done your research and you're genuinely interested?
Okay, let's move on to a more technical question. Can you describe a project where you had to troubleshoot a design issue?
This is where you can show off those problem-solving skills.
Yes. Have a specific example already, something that highlights how you approach a problem.
Like, how did you identify the root cause? Did you try out different solutions?
And don't just focus on what you did, explain your thought process as well.
Like, did you use any specific tools or techniques? Did you simulate different scenarios?
Right. All those details show your technical skills and how you think critically.
And this is where RoleCatcher's skill guides come in handy.
Oh, yeah. They can help you figure out which skills are most relevant for the role.
Like, if the job description mentions experience with certain design software, you'll definitely want to bring that up.
Makes sense. Now let's look at a question about staying up to date. How do you stay up to date with advancements in microelectronics design?
This field moves so fast, you got to be a lifelong learner.
Definitely mention any conferences you've attended, publications you read, or courses you've taken.
Shows you're actively seeking knowledge and staying on top of the latest trends.
And don't forget about professional organizations.
Like the IE.
Exactly. Being a member gives you access to resources and shows your dedication.
Speaking of resources, don't forget about RoleCatcher's career guides.
Oh, those are fantastic. They're constantly being updated with industry trends and career advice.
Okay, next question focuses on quality. How do you ensure your designs are manufacturable and meet quality standards?
This one's all about showing you understand the whole design life cycle.
Not just the creative part, but also the practical aspect.
Right. You want to talk about your process for design reviews, testing, and how you work with manufacturing teams,
And don't hesitate to mention any industry standards you follow.
like specific design rules or quality control processes, shows you're committed to quality assurance.
RoleCatcher actually has a lot of resources on design best practices and industry standards.
It's a great resource for anyone in the field.
Okay, now for a question about handling pressure. Can you describe a time you had to work under a tight deadline?
We've all been there, right?
Deadlines are part of life, but this question's about showing you can stay calm and deliver results.
Exactly. Pick an example that highlights your time management skills and your ability to communicate under stress.
Focus on what you did to stay organized and how you kept everyone informed.
And even if there were challenges, talk about what you learned from the experience.
Did you come up with new strategies or improve your communication? Those are valuable takeaways.
Now, before we move on, let's talk about how RoleCatcher's AI can help you.
Right. Imagine having an AI coach that analyzes each question and suggests tailored responses.
It can even help you practice your delivery and give you feedback.
So it's like having a secret weapon in your interview arsenal.
It can give you the confidence to really shine.
All right, let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dive into even more interview questions.
And explore how RoleCatcher can help you craft winning answers.
Stay tuned.
All right, we're back and ready for more Microelectronics Designer interview questions.
Let's jump right in with this one. How do you approach designing a new microelectronics device?
This is a great chance to show off your design process, your problem-solving skills, even your creativity.
So it's not just about the technical stuff, but also how you think and approach challenges.
Exactly. Start by talking about how you gather requirements. Like, what are the needs and constraints of this device?
Then you can explain how you identify potential issues and how you iterate on the design.
And don't forget to mention the tools you use during the process.
Like cadence or synopses.
Right? Highlighting your familiarity with those industry standard tools shows your competence.
And this is also a good spot to showcase your creativity.
Yeah, microelectronics design is all about finding innovative solutions.
So share an example of a time when you had to think outside the box.
Maybe you came up with a new circuit topology or optimized a design for low power.
Speaking of low-power design, that's a hot topic right now, especially with the Internet of Things.
For sure, RoleCatcher's career guides actually have a whole section on emerging trends.
It's worth checking out if you want to stay ahead of the curve.
Okay, next question. Can you describe a time when you had to make a trade-off between performance and cost in a design?
The classic dilemma every designer faces.
Right, you got to find that balance between functionality, efficiency, and budget.
So pick an example where you had to make a tough decision,
Maybe you had to choose between a higher performing component that was more expensive.
or a cheaper option that might sacrifice some performance.
Exactly. Walk them through your decision-making process.
What factors did you consider? How did you justify your choice?
And don't be afraid to say it was a difficult decision.
Showing that you can handle those tough calls is important.
Okay, moving on to testing and validation. How do you approach testing and validation of a microelectronics device?
This is where you prove that your designs are reliable and functional.
Right. Talk about the types of tests you perform.
Like functional testing, performance testing, and reliability testing.
Exactly. And mention the equipment you use, like oscilloscopes or logic analyzers.
And don't forget to explain how you analyze the results.
You want to show that you have a systematic approach to testing.
You know, while I was prepping for this, I was impressed with RoleCatcher's resources on testing.
Oh yeah, they have guides for all sorts of testing and validation techniques.
It's like having an encyclopedia of knowledge at your fingertips.
Now for a question about teamwork. Can you describe a time when you had to work collaboratively with others on a project?
Teamwork is essential in this field, so this is your chance to highlight those skills.
Choose a project where you played a key role and explain how you contributed.
Did you communicate effectively? Did you listen to others' ideas?
And talk about any challenges the team faced and how you overcame them.
Like technical roadblocks or disagreements?
Right, showing you can navigate those situations is important.
RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you tailor your answer to this question.
Oh, really? How so?
It can analyze the job description and identify the specific teamwork skills they're looking for.
Interesting. So if they emphasize cross-functional collaboration, you'd want to highlight that.
Exactly. RoleCatcher's AI can really help you fine-tune your responses.
Okay, let's move on to the manufacturing process. Describe your familiarity with different microelectronics fabrication techniques.
This one's about showing you understand how chips are actually made.
So talk about your knowledge of processes like photolithography, etching, deposition.
Even if you haven't worked in a fab, demonstrating the basic understanding is important.
And if you have experience with specific technologies like CMOS or MEMS, definitely mention that.
I was reading RoleCatcher's guide on fabrication, and I was amazed by how much the technology has advanced.
It's incredible, right? We're talking about creating transistors at the nanometer scale.
It's mind-blowing.
All right, next question. What are some of the biggest challenges facing the microelectronics industry today?
This one's a bit broader. It's about your understanding of industry trends.
Think about things like Moore's law slowing down, or the rising cost of fabrication.
Or the demand for more energy-efficient technologies.
Right. These are complex issues with no easy answers.
But showing that you're aware of these challenges is important.
And you could even offer some insights into potential solutions.
Or areas of research that are addressing these challenges.
Exactly. It shows you're engaged with the future of the field.
Speaking of the future, RoleCatcher's guides have a section on emerging trends.
Oh yeah, they talk about things like quantum computing and AI in chip design.
It's a fascinating look into what's next for microelectronics.
All right, let's wrap up this section with some advice.
Okay, what's your top tip for acing these interviews?
Preparation is key. Practice your responses, research the company, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
And don't forget about RoleCatcher's AI. It can be a huge help.
So with the right preparation and the right tools, you'll be ready to impress.
Now, in the final part of our deep dive, we'll go beyond specific questions.
And explore some broader career insights that can help you on your microelectronics designer journey.
Stay tuned. All right, so we've talked about interview questions and how RoleCatcher can help you prepare.
Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture, some career insights that can help you in this field.
Okay, so we know analog and digital circuits are essential, but what other skills are important?
Problem solving, for sure. You got to be able to think critically, analyze systems, find creative solutions.
Makes sense. It's not just about knowing the theory, but applying it to real-world challenges.
Right. And communication is key, too. You'll be working with engineers from different disciplines, material scientists, all sorts of people.
So you need to explain your ideas clearly, both verbally and in writing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't just be a tech whiz, you got to be a good communicator too.
And how about staying up to date in this field? Any tips?
Conferences are great for that. You get to learn about new technologies, network with other professionals.
See what's on the horizon.
Right. And for staying on top of research, there's always industry publications and journals.
And online courses or certifications can be helpful too.
Absolutely. And of course, we can't forget RoleCatcher's career guides.
Oh yeah, those are packed with info on industry trends and career advice.
They're constantly updated, so you're always in the loop.
Speaking of careers, what are some typical paths for microelectronics designers?
A lot of folks move into leadership roles, managing teams of engineers, becoming project managers, or even directors.
So there's room for growth and leadership opportunities.
Definitely. And some people specialize in areas like research and development or product management.
Focusing on new technologies or bringing products to market.
Right. And some even start their own companies.
Oh, wow. So there's the real entrepreneurial path too.
For sure. It can be tough, but also super rewarding.
So many different directions you can go.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone just starting out?
Be proactive. Seek out opportunities to learn, take on challenging projects, network with people.
Networking is key in any field.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to think outside the box. This field is constantly evolving, so be adaptable and keep learning.
Great advice. So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave our listeners with a final thought.
As microelectronics keeps advancing at this incredible pace, what role do you see yourself playing in the future of technology?
It's a great question to think about and maybe even bring up in your interviews.
It's been awesome exploring the world of microelectronics designers with you.
And remember, with the right preparation, your passion and resources like RoleCatcher, you can succeed in this amazing field.
Best of luck out there. We can't wait to see what you accomplish.